On this week's show, a grand performance on the diamond by the Lady Flames in the NCAA Regionals, and golf heads to Nationals.
Plus, baseball looks to advance in the ASUN tourney, and hey, Emmy nominations are in. We'll take a look back at the Latvian legend who made the list. This is Flames Central.
Postseason play is in full force for Liberty, with softball, baseball, golf, and outdoor track and field looking to advance. Hey guys, welcome to Flames Central. I'm Rhett, she's Emily, and Emily, I think we should start on the diamond with the Lady Flames.
Absolutely right, yeah. In game one of the tournament, LU fell in extra innings to JMU, but with regionals, it's double elimination, so hope was still alive.
Yeah, it was. They would bounce right back, knocking out Eastern Kentucky, but then their next opponent would be number 9 nationally ranked Tennessee in another win-or-go-home contest. Flames and Volunteers, let's head to the top of the fourth inning with the Flames trailing 2-0, and that's when Savannah Chanel would wake up her bat in a big way. The base is loaded. The freshman would launch one over the wall for the grand slam. It would be 4-2 Liberty. Flames would tack on another in the 5th, which is good because the Lady Vols would battle back. In the 6th, Shipman would triple, scoring Willingham, and then Segrin with the sac fly. Shipman would score from third, making it a 5-4 ball game. We head to the top of the 7th, where Ambra Bishop-Riley, disgusting, would give LU a little padding. A solo shot to left makes it a 6-4 game, and the Flames would keep it that way, eliminating the Lady Vols on their diamond and setting up a date with JMU. Now, the Flames came into the contest having to beat the Dukes 2 games in a row in order to advance. Let's get after it. First inning, and Danae Griffin, that girl's got some pop in that bat. She knocked one over the fence for a 2-run blast, giving Liberty the lead. Flames would add on another in the 3rd. Kara Caneto would send it deep to give LU a 3-1 advantage. In the 5th, unfortunately, the lead would not last. The Dukes would come through with a 5-run inning to take a 6-3 lead. It would be a lead they would never give back. JMU would eventually take it by a final of 8-5, ending the Flames season. Here's what Coach Dot had to say about her team.
We'll miss them greatly, and they really have been a cornerstone in building the legacy of this program as we will continue to grow and compete.
I'm extremely proud and blessed to have the girls that I have played with this year. Coming in Saturday, that was probably the most fun I've had this year. Playing Tennessee was unbelievable. I'm still so proud of this team, and just very blessed that I had the opportunity to come here and play 5 years for Coach Dot and Coach Fagan, Coach Cass. Really honored to be on this team.
Going to miss those seniors. What a remarkable season for the Lady Flames. Checking in with the guys, LU hosted Bellarmine in a best-of-3 ASUN quarterfinal series. The Flames took game 1 5-2, so let's pick it up in game 2. The Knights jump out to an early 2-0 lead, but in the 2nd inning, Jalen Guy singles that will score Cam Locklear to tie it at 2-all. Then Liberty really breaks things open in the 7th inning. Aaron Anderson with a double to plate Logan Matthew, giving LU the lead. Anderson went 5 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored.
That's a good
Still
day.
in the 7th, Liberty starts filling up the bases after a series of walks. Bellarmine's pitcher box, the bats start going again, and next thing you know, the Flames score 10 runs in the 7th alone, Rhett.
Wow.
Liberty takes the win in the series to advance in the ASUN tournament, facing Jacksonville up next.
Well, the Flames golf team had us on the edge of our seats through the final few holes at regionals, but LU was able to finish in 4th place and advance to the NCAA National Championship. Now, this marks the 2nd consecutive trip and 3rd overall appearance in program history. Individually ranked 21st nationally, Kieran Vincent finished the regional competition tied for 5th at 7 under, while Liberty's Jonathan Yon tied for 8th. Despite teeing off on the biggest stage in collegiate golf, the Flames are confident heading into national play.
We have the best team in school history, I think, and we got 4, 5, 6 guys that can start, that can, win a golf tournament. And I think that's something Liberty never had, is guys that can win tournaments. And just the way we're all playing at once right now is, really exciting, and the coaches are excited too. everyone's been able to put themselves in positions where they can be super confident. And I think, this time now we're just going to go out there and have a lot of fun. And I think that's just the main emphasis of this trip. Obviously it is a national championship. Obviously we want to do the best we can. But I think for a lot of guys, they're just soaking it in for their last tournament.
Woo! So exciting. Can't wait to see those guys at Nationals. Checking in with outdoor track and field. 22 Flames qualified for the NCAA East preliminary round, which takes place in Jacksonville. This marks the second largest group Liberty has taken to the 4-day competition. So the top 12 finishers in each event will advance to Nationals in Eugene, Oregon. Some Flames to follow include Chelsea Igbarasi, who will compete in 3 field events, ASUN shot put champ Kyle Mitchell, who is the Flames' highest regional seed at number 8, Diamante Griffin and Christian Lyon represent LU in the men's 200, while Callie Doan looks to advance in the steeplechase, as well as freshman Adeline Ackley in the 5K.
Well, as you may have heard, former Flame Caleb Holmesley recently signed a multi-year contract with the Washington Wizards. That's a pretty big deal. What's an even bigger deal is that Caleb has been begging us to be on the Flame Central podcast for months now. Some people just don't get a hint. Well, we finally had him on to talk about his future and reminisce about his days at Liberty.
I think it was a time where Liberty was taking a turn, and I think that was just the moment right there where it was like, we really are here, we really can do it, just for all athletics, honestly. Like, the fact that we went in there in March Madness and won like that, and how we did it, it just kind of put Liberty a little bit more on the map, and then now the football team is successful with 2 Cure Bowl wins in a row. Like, the fact that all that is happening, and then for basketball, I think, honestly, like, the whole team that season, like, we never thought we were going to lose a game. Every single place we stepped in, we thought we were going to win. Like, it didn't matter if we lost. We were like, all right, we're going to win the next game. Like, that was how we had that next play mentality the whole entire season. So I remember we were down 10 with like 5 minutes left. Yeah. We go into the timeout, and everybody's like looking around. And I just remember Bell saying, we're good, we're going to win the game. And we came back out, and all of a sudden, I blacked out. I remember nothing. I remember nothing after that. I don't remember anything after that, but yeah.
Such a great conversation with Caleb. If you haven't listened, be sure to download the Flame Central podcast today. Well, here at Flame Central, we produce all types of content for the show and social media. Each year, those productions have the potential to be recognized for a Capital Emmy Award, honoring excellence in television programming. Well, I'm honored to share that our team has been nominated for 8 Emmys this year in a variety of categories. As you can see, sports program, religion, sports story, promotion, sound design, graphic arts, play-by-play, writing. Man, Rhett, we pretty much have them all covered.
There's a lot.
It's just amazing. All glory to God there.
Absolutely great stuff. And one of the stories nominated for an Emmy in the sports short form category was on Liberty's defensive lineman Ralph Rusins. Around here, we call him the Latvian legend. In Latvia, they call him Ļoti talantīgs, which means uber talented, especially in the sport of judo. Once you take a look at this guy, you'll be happy that he's wearing a Flames uniform.
I only talk trash all the time. I can talk trash in many languages. Like 4. Don't do that, Damien. We all know how it ends. I'm a big trash talker when it comes to it on the field. Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out in a second. Mostly in Russian, because they don't really know the difference, I would say. Shut your tail up, or I'm gonna whoop your tail. Say it in Latvian, be aizen mutni, and in Russian, be zaknis. Давай, puiši. Aiziet. What did I say? No idea. No idea. Well, I'm from Latvia. It's a country inside of Europe. Like, my city that I live in, it's similar to Lynchburg. Like, it's a bit low-key, but the country has a lot of history. Like, the town I'm born in, it's at least 800 years old. Have like 200-something castles, so it's a pretty wild country.
How in the world did Ralph Rusins end up playing football at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, more than 4,500 miles away from home? The funny thing is, it all started as a joke.
After my youth league basketball, me and my dad thought maybe you should like find a sport like to do just to not get fat. And I thought, okay, why not? And then he found out we had a single American football team there. I went there and tried out.
Ralph's admitted he had no clue what he was doing in the tryout.
They said, you're gonna play a defensive line. I was like, okay, cool. So they just told me, I put on the pads and said, just go get the ball. And that's basically what I did.
Which impressed the Riga Lions head coach, Matt Kessinger, who was no stranger to the game of football.
He was an ex-D2 coach, and he moved into the military after 9/11 happened. So somehow he ended up in the American embassy in Latvia. And he just like did football. He just did football stuff as his hobby. So he saw me play, like I played 3 games, and he said like, you should go and try out states. And at that point I was like, okay, like, I'll just try it out. Like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Well, it happened, and here's how. Ralphs and his father searched the internet and found a handful of one-day camps in the Virginia and North Carolina area. Then Ralphs booked a flight to visit America for the first time ever, alone.
We're Europeans, I mean, we're all crazy.
Once he landed, he rented a car and went to camp after camp after camp. One of those stops being Liberty. And the rest is history.
I'm the first one here from my country. Like, nobody has ever played a D1 FBS football from Latvia.
Ralphs wasn't able to bring much to America, but he would bring a skill from home that would help him find success on the football field. The practice of judo.
My first game when I played Coastal Carolina as a defensive lineman, I actually did a judo move. I'm one of the offensive linemen from Coastal Carolina.
And he is driven down.
I did judo for a long time. Like, I did judo since I was 4 years old. And actually, my judo coach was very upset when he found out that I'm going to the States.
His coach's frustration was valid because Ralphs was one of the best in Latvia. He was a member of the Junior Olympics team and a 3-time under-21 Latvian champion.
Judo is a lot about throws and a lot about grips, and a lot about you can like extensions and the way then you fight your opponent the way the way he moves. So you can kind of see that on the defensive lines. It's like a lineman comes to me like cross off his space, or he goes away like follow his back, right? I read his hips. It's the same way in judo. All the hand grabbing and grips and everything.
Ralphs Rusins runs him down from behind.
Incorporating judo in his game has been helpful, but Ralphs also has a much better understanding of football.
Rolling off our hand. Down, sit, hit.
Coach Aldridge and Coach Simons just taught me to go football from like I was a blank page. But everything I know right now, it's all Coach Aldridge, Coach Simons. They just basically changed me as a football player. There's double smoke too. Then my field of vision, like how like football works, it's completely changed. I watch film completely differently than the way that I did before. It's like night and day. It is exciting because you basically just enter this completely different level of the game. I'll give all the props to them.
He also gives credit to his father. He was the one who pointed him to football after all.
He has always pushed me. Like my dad, I would say he's like my number one person in life. Of course, my mom is always there, but I would just like, my dad has always pushed me and has always supported me. I promised my dad, he said like, if I make it, like I'll buy you a Rolls Royce. That's my deal with him at this point.
Now, the young man who has never even been to a football game in which he wasn't playing has his sights set on the biggest stage.
My dream would be to be the first Latvian drafted player. Like that would be, if I would manage to do that by somehow, I'll be happy. And I hope that there were people be like after me. Football is one of the greatest games ever played. I love everything about it. I love my job, I love what I do in the field. I just think it's a very interesting game, and I hope it will kick up more back home.
And if it does, that credit will probably go to the player who is making history in the game for Latvia.
The sack is Ralphs Rusins. Gets in the backfield, Bix Jr. out of Karnikava, Latvia.
Latvia, Mountain of Mayhem, Ralph Rusins.
The Latvian legend.
Coming up next, we take you to the stables where healing is found in a unique way.
Plus, Rhett brings us another warm, hot, and fuego, and later we have a very strange Take One edition with quarterback Nate Hampton. Don't go anywhere.
In 1776, one of the most important documents in our nation's history was penned by one of Virginia's most famous residents. Throughout the next 200 years, the importance of Central Virginia was deeply woven into the tapestry of our nation's history. Liberty University is blessed to be built upon these same historic grounds, furthering the Christian tradition of our founding fathers and training young men and women of character and of calling. At Liberty, you're welcomed into a community rich with history, and we invite you to explore our campus in Central Virginia to discover more than just the surface level. Building upon the tapestry of history, we strive for greatness, humble to be at the heart of where the country began.
Liberty University is more than my sponsor. It's my school, too. Fuel your education at Liberty University.
Times are changing. At Liberty, we've made it our priority to grow, to learn, to improve. But even with all the change, our purpose remains. We want to equip people to go make a difference through their calling in their communities around the world. And though we are blessed with an amazing campus, our most valuable resource has always been the people, our students, and those who inspire them. It's the people who serve, maintain, support. It's you.
What's really important? Not the buildings, not the mountain, not the property, but the young people who use these buildings, who study in these facilities. They are important.
No matter what the future holds, we will stay focused on our goal. And the people of Liberty University are how we will continue to carry out our mission. They are the ones who empower us to
Training champions for Christ.
Champions for Christ.
Training champions for Christ.
Welcome back to Flame Central. One thing we are called on to do as Christians is to serve. Horse lover Kendall Burdett is using a personal experience to heal a vulnerable group of children through the power of connecting with horses. What makes it even more special is that these animals share a similar story as their riders.
The first time I ever rode a horse, I was 4, and it was a neighborhood birthday party. And I just remember it was me and my mom. They put me in this cute little Western saddle and just, did one lap around the yard.
For Liberty University graduate Kendall Burdett, that one lap around the yard was the beginning of a lifelong passion for horses.
They're so good.
But another passion would also take hold in her life. As the daughter of a paraplegic father, she also developed a love for helping those with special needs.
I had the honor to have a father who showed me how to navigate this world through the eyes of physically handicapped. That led me to start serving in special needs in church. And so that passion started developing. I was like, man, I really love this. I love serving with special needs.
Kendall took these two seemingly unrelated passions from childhood to Liberty University, wondering if she could ever somehow merge the two. Then, while a member of the LU equestrian team, she began learning about how horses and children can develop a special bond.
Horses are what we consider sentient beings, so they have feelings. They obviously don't speak verbally like you and I do, but they never judge, they never lie. They have behavioral cues that helps teach the kids to be more introspective. The simple movement of the horse not only has incredible physical effects, but emotional.
I really like connecting with the horses and grooming them and then taking them out into the arena. Sometimes it can be a little scary whenever you're going fast, but once you get your technique down, it's really fun.
The relationship between horse and child is magnified when the child is facing mental or emotional challenges. The process through which healing can take place is called equine-assisted therapy.
Like now you can see his head's lower, his eyes are closing, he's very comfortable. I have children that have been sexually and commercially exploited. I have kids struggling with anxiety and depression. I have kids experiencing suicidal thoughts. I've got kids that just really think that they're worthless.
Release whatever you kind of brought into today and just take some good deep breaths, kind of settle into his nice rhythm.
A lot of my kids have been really mistreated, and it's uncomfortable to be loved for them. So God has given me a platform where I can teach, He is the essence of love. He is love, and we can teach it through the horses.
Good, give him a little pat. He's being so good.
And it just so happens that many of Kendall's horses have more in common with the children than you might think.
Talking to him, telling him easy.
The horses have stories. They're rescued. So they've come from neglect. They've been completely abandoned. They've been abused. They all have their own story. A lot of my kiddos have similar stories. And so when we share that with them, it's like, oh my gosh, like, it understands me. There's already that common ground which starts to break down those walls, break down those barriers, right? That have been built up for so many years sometimes.
You kind of talk to him like easy, kind of find a rhythm of your own voice.
It helps to lower that anxiety, just kind of let everything fall off just by walking. And then, they get trotting. Well, now the smiles start. Maybe they haven't smiled in a long time. It's just, it brings tears to my eyes that I get to do this.
Good girl.
This story really brought tears to my eyes too.
It's a sweet story.
Such a great piece done by our Kentos. So thank you for that. All right, so moving on to Warm, Hot, and Fuego. I like the new Warm, Hot, and Fuego host because Matt Warner used to be a regular.
I know, right? Like Matt wasn't on the show last week. It was you and I, and then he's not here this week, which brings up my theme for today's show.
Okay.
You remember Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is Matt Warner?
Exactly.
I knew it. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So you're breaking down the top 3 plays, moments, or players of the week.
Right.
We start things off with Warm. Where in the world is Matt Warner warm?
Matt Warmer warm, there he would be. My first guess is in like the Kansas City area, getting some barbecue. He likes his barbecue, but the warm, it's an athlete. Will Wagner on the baseball team. This is a guy that coming into the Jacksonville game had 4 straight multi-hit games. So you go to game 1 versus Bellarmine, 3 hits, 2 RBI. Game 2 versus Bellarmine, 3 hits and an RBI. He has had 19 multi-hit games this season, a shortened year, and he's on the first team all-conference. So Will Wagner has had just a tremendous outing throughout this season. It's been so much fun to watch, and hard to believe his time is coming to an end here at LU.
Well, hopefully not coming to an end just yet as the Flames continue ASUN tournament play. Okay, so where in the world is Matt Warner hot?
All right, hot in Tampa Bay.
With Tom Brady.
No, Kansas City Royals are down playing the Rays, so I thought maybe he's watching his Royals down there.
He was trying to get something from Tom Brady and bring it to his KC quarterback.
That's not a bad idea. All right, hey, Amber Bishop-Riley, hot athlete. The moment that was, I guess you could say, a tearjerker. Do you know the song "Time to Say Goodbye" by Andrea Bocelli?
I do not. Can you sing it?
Time to say goodbye.
Oh,
you know that song, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, I gotta get going here. I only got 45 seconds left. Amber Bishop-Riley, her last at bat ever in a Liberty uniform is a home run. And I thought that was fitting. She leaves the program all-time home run leader. And just to see that last sweet swing one more time against JMU, it brings a little tear to your eye. So that was a great one.
You couldn't get me going on singing. Okay, very quickly, where in the world is Matt Warner in Fuego?
Anywhere picking blueberries. He loves blueberries, this guy. Okay, Trevor DeLate, though, is our Fuego athlete. ASUN Pitcher of the Year. What a season he has had coming in. You think about it, you go back to the Liberty pitching coach saying, I want that guy, for rightfully so. 8 strikeouts in game 1 versus Bellarmine. Like I said, ASUN Pitcher of the Year, 2.18 ERA, 10-1 record. He was outstanding this season.
All right, great job, Brett. It's not time to say goodbye. We'll be right back after the break.
It's a little flat.
With a pretty interesting take 1.
At Liberty University, we don't just believe everyone should have access to higher education, we make it happen. That's why we are offering our Middle America Scholarship to help families like yours by providing over $20,000 over the course of 4 years. Money should not hold you back from the life-changing experience at Liberty University. Find out if you qualify for the Middle America Scholarship today.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back. Well, football might be taking some time to relax this offseason, but we wanted to keep you in the loop with some new names on the roster.
Yeah, so we started a segment called Take One. The
Yeah.
guys give you a few fun facts about themselves, introduce themselves, and you'll see in this edition with quarterback Nate Hampton, things get a little weird.
My name's Nate Hampton. I'm a quarterback, and I'm from Davie County, North Carolina. My major is business, entrepreneurship. I want to be my own business owner of, I don't know exactly what yet, but that's my plans. I'm definitely a pro-style guy. I'm bigger. I mean, I'm not necessarily the typical quarterback. I'm 6'6", 230, just a bigger type guy, but I can also run a little bit. I love to go out there and have fun and sling the rock. It really blew me away. I mean, I love it here. I love all the things they have to offer, and really just them being so accepting as me being a mid-year guy and loving in on me, and it's just been a great experience so far. Might seem a little weird, but I can do like a hand fart thing. See, like, that's something that's one of my hidden talents that I love to use in the classroom and stuff like that. I haven't used that in the film room yet. I think I have to settle myself in a little bit more than going in there and doing that.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty interesting. That will be a little difficult to do with these rings that you can see.
That's
the
right.
Cure Bowl rings have been delivered to the football guys, and look at these beauties shine red.
Oh, they are absolutely gorgeous. Whoever designs these does a terrific job of making them just look pristine. Guys, you can tell by the smile on their face, they absolutely love it.
I'm wondering, though, when are we going to get our Cure Bowl rings? We're out of time for this episode of Flame Central. We'll see you right back here next week. For Rhett, I'm Emily.